I mean, there's been so much time, you know, so much water under the bridge that now I can enjoy all that Byrds music as if I wasn't even a participant, you know, practically. Um, at the time, like I say, you're too busy making the music to actually sit back and listen to it once it's done. You just sort of go on to the next thing. And we were so shocked by what the record sounded like that maybe it was some kind of just guy thing, but we didn't talk about it much. It was like, oh yeah, record, yeah, mixes completely. And then the thing that really shocked us was the gospel chorus on Lay Lady Lay. That the next thing we thought, well, this is going to vindicate us. This is really cool. It's a Dylan song. We really thought we did a good job on it. You know, it's like, wow, this is a really great song. And then it came out sounding like something completely different, different animal. But I don't remember. I think we all just sort of pushed it in the back of our minds. I don't remember thinking about it much. The placement of Roger's guitar. You know, like when we played, one of the things that was really cool about that band is you had Roger on this side and Clarence on the, actually it was Roger on this side, Clarence on this side. Both of those guitars just pumping out energy. I mean, just, you know, I stood in the middle. I remember, you know, incredible sound. And when we all stepped to the mic to sing, we all sang together. The way the record was mixed was in the traditional, like, this guy's the lead vocalist and the other guys are the backup singers. And this guitar is the lead guitar, so the other guitar must be the rhythm guitar. So to do that to the Byrds, it just shows like, well, there was no research done as to what this band presents, what its sonic personality, what its oral personality is. In response to, you know, people have given Bob Johnston a hard time about the mix on Dr. Byrds and Mr. Hyde. It reminds me a lot of when you go to an amusement park and they have a piece of wood with perhaps mermaids, and then you put your heads through the hole. Everybody puts their head through the hole, and then you take a photo, right? So it's kind of like there's a set way that the music is presented, and you just change the participants. And I think Bob had tremendous success with Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan, Simon and Garfunkel. And if you look at that music, it's distinctly different from the Byrds music. If you look at the things that Bob had done prior, they're all really good records, really great records. So you could see where Roger would think, like, let the guy do what he does. Look what he's done before. You know, let's let him do it, you know. And I think that he just saw things in that way, that he just has a way that he does it. And okay, this is the front guy, and these guys are the backup, and this is the lead guitar, and this is the backup. And perhaps no one said to him, well, you know, Bob, this is how we do it. You know, we got these two guitar sounds, and they're equal, and they feed off each other, and they breathe together, and one leaps out and then goes back, and the other one leaps out, and they do it. You know, you don't have to put one way in the back and one up front. They know how to do that. You know, so he didn't get that right. Perhaps he just didn't have the advice he needed. And then vocally, the same thing. And a really interesting thing is there has been a release of a live concert that we did at the Fillmore in 1969. And the thing that's really strange is the mix on that is reminiscent of that first mix on Dr. Byrds, where Roger's voice is way up front. And then they don't even use Clarence's voice, my voice, or Gene's voice, except for the leakage that's in Roger's mic, right? And the whole thing, it's an incredible document. I like listening to it. So Roger's voice and Clarence's guitar just leap out at you. And, you know, in a certain historical perspective, that makes perfect sense. A textbook kind of perspective. But if you were there, you'd say, no, this is not what it sounded like. It didn't. There were these voices that all came in together, you know, and these guitars just pulsating, and there was a dynamic, you know, like pistons or something moving. So that was not present on that recording. Well, that's true. He did add the girls' voices afterwards, and it was a shock to us. Perhaps he may have said to Roger, I'm going to put some girls in the back or something, but the rest of us didn't know about it. And when we heard it, I mean, the sound of the ladies singing is so in your face, you know, and the style is so almost Wagnerian in a certain sense, you know. It's got this, like, what the hell is that? You know, so I think it was an idea that didn't work. And for us, it just completely ruined the record. But it was already released. I think it was probably a safe policy for Roger, given the fact that I had been in the band 2 weeks, and Gene had been in the band, what, less than 4 months? So that may have been the reason for that. I'm just speculating, but I would think that 2 new guys in the band, I better handle the singing myself. People will recognize, you know, Roger thinking people will recognize my voice. The new guys, they may not know that sound. They may not even know it's the Byrds, so I better sing. That's probably what he was thinking.